Q&A with some of our current leadership. So if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to hit let us know. I'll let them introduce themselves. So, Colyer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How was your visit to our sister property, King's Dominion, yesterday? Still here to stay and hear, I know. Us too. My name is Joe Public. I'm the Marketing, Public Relations, and Entertainment Manager here. I hope you enjoy all of our product here at the Park for Fright Fest throughout the evening, so I hope you're staying late. Just before we get started, please feel free to come up and make a plate as we go. We're not salted. The food looks great. You should enjoy it. Please use the restroom as you need. As we talk today, we'd love to share everything with you, but as I hope you all respect, some things are not in a place that we can talk about quite yet. As such, some of the things that we do talk about still has the opportunity to not come to fruition. So we also ask for your patience and appreciation for us wanting to tell you as much as we can, and the fact that our company in particular is truly evolving right now, and things and priorities are in a constant flux and change. Everything for the best. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to our General Manager, Ramar Vaughan.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing today? So, as Joe said, my name is Ramar Vaughan. I'm the General Manager here at Six Flags America. I started in this very building in 1997. It was my very, very first job. So I assumed this role last January. And it's been a blessing and a pleasure. And so obviously I'm very happy to stand in front of each and every single one of you to take the Q&A today. And just, like Joe said, we'll be as candid as we possibly can, but just understand that we can't necessarily talk through every single thing. So, and then I'll introduce Brett. So, Brett.
Hello, everybody. My name is Brett Colyer. I am the Food and Beverage and Merchandise and Ancillary Revenue Director for Six Flags America. I just joined this property in the beginning of July, but I have been with Six Flags since the West Coast, starting about 20 some odd years ago in Magic Mountain, kind of working my way around the place. So I'm very excited to be at this property.
So we don't have any formal presentation. Really, we're just opening the floor for questions, and we'll go through them. We're just going to try the shout-out method first, and then if we need a mic, we'll run one around if we need to. But y'all are typically a pretty boisterous crowd, so go ahead, Sam.
I found that you really did a bang up job this year on entertainment, and I was wondering if that's going to continue.
Ramar is the biggest supporter of entertainment of any park president I've worked for, so I don't expect that to change at all. We had the opportunity to show off our products to some of our new leadership, and they also feel the same way, that we're on a really great trajectory here. So I feel very, very strong that it's only going to get better from here.
I guess I would second that. Obviously, Joe mentioned that I'm a huge supporter. I think entertainment is key to the business. Obviously, I think it's an opportunity for us to, pull away from the ride necessarily and kind of chill out and relax for a bit. So I definitely think that that's something that we'll, continue to focus on as we move forward into the future. Yes, sir.
Is it weird not having King's Dominion for sworn in?
It is, it's a very interesting thing, I'll just say that, but it's been very, very smooth. I think our first week when we merged, I went straight down to King's. I had an amazing trip, met with their general manager, Bridget, and it was seamless. I mean, it's, the same conversations, it was a cool experience. So I think it's, we're working through that. I think, as we continue to move forward into the future, it's going to continue to evolve. The relationship will evolve. With Sister Park, so we're excited to see how that's going to work for all of us.
I'll just add that the industry overall has an amazing camaraderie, and so we always used to say the only thing we can wish on our competitors is poor weather. We don't want anything else for anybody, just like I'm sure they don't want anything negative for us. But it's really great to be able to embrace the knowledge base of our properties and the legacy Cedar Fair properties, and really bring those together in a new way. And I'm excited to take some of our key learnings to kind of that half of the company, and I'm excited to embrace theirs on ours. So it's a perfect marriage.
And it's a win for all of you as well, no matter how you look at it. So I think that's the biggest thing that we can, glean from this entire thing.
For merchandising, is there any plan to bring like peanuts over to Six Flags or vice versa, like DC over to Cedar Fair cards? Or Looney Tunes?
So for right now, I won't say that anything is impossible at the moment. Right now, that hasn't been something that we have at my level completely discussed at this point, but I won't say anything is not possible.
Along the same line of question, have you thought about a combo ticket, King Community and Six Flags, especially for the economic castle, so like people in the area, it'd be really cool instead of combo ticket.
Absolutely. We're 2 months in, so our number one goal is to sell a lot of season passes, so we're very focused on that right now. But as we continue to evolve in our merger, we expect a lot more synergies, particularly with King's Dominion.
I guess building off the merchandising question, since the merger, has there been any IP or branding they have discussed wanting to standardize across all the parks to unify them?
As far as it's my fault. From an IP perspective, we have not had a full discussion about our plans, from emerging, thinking about both. But I think, as Joe mentioned, it's kind of, we're a few months into this, so there's a lot of things that we have to iron out. Right now our focus is to really operate as one unified company, and that's the first step of the process, and then we'll start to evaluate things from that point. Did that answer your question? Okay. I'm sorry.
I would just say if there's things that you like on the Cedar Fair side, odds are they're great for business, and you'll see them make their way to the legacy Six Flags side. And that's the beauty in having both sides, is there's tons of ways that we ultimately do the same thing, but we've done it very differently at times. And so we can see both sides of it now. So
Truly the best of both worlds. That's the way that I think about it. So, like Joe said, we're evaluating whichever best practice works for both sides of the company and merging into one. So that's the best way to look at it. Yes,
I want to say I really like what you guys did with reinvigorating the Coyote Creek district in the Steamtown. I like the way it turned out. What was the whole kind of design process of making the decision to go with the steampunk theme? Also, whose idea was it to put dinosaurs on a river rapids? Because that's an idea so kind of silly that it makes it free.
The process, the one thing that we love about this particular property is our ability to really have our hands on the process. I would say that Joe and Elliot are in the marketing team. They work with me and several other folks on the maintenance side. We came up with a committee and worked through that design process. Obviously, we submitted stuff to corporate. We submitted our ideas to corporate, but we spent a lot of time brainstorming and coming up with the concept. We had an opportunity to get some dinos that were going to go somewhere, and then Joe said, "You know what? Let's do this." And I agree with him. I thought it was an excellent idea, and then boom. A lot of people laughed at it, but I think when you think through this, it really works. Professor Screenmore and all of his zany inventions, this is the big deal here. So we're very happy with it. And we thought it was just a great addition to this particular area. Yes, sir.
You mentioned Professor Screamore. You reminded me. Has Professor Screamore met Dr. Diabolical? Do they
I'm gonna
know?
let Joe answer that.
Dr. Diabolical wouldn't stand a chance. No, we are particularly proud of the professor and his great work. We've had a lot of fun with him over the year, and we expect there to be some more innovations from him in the future.
Did I answer your question enough when I was asking? I mean, I can't quite go into all the details, but in summary, I would say that's the best way to describe the process. Yes.
We buy ride-specific shirts in parks that we go to all the time, and in some parks we have trouble deciding which one to get because there's so many to choose from. But in this park, we struggle to find any ride-specific shirts.
So I know right now they're in the process of a lot of design work for moving forward within the company. I know there is a little bit of a lighter assortment at this property. I think right now it's Firebird, maybe just the only one that we have over in Inferno. But these are the times of the year where my division in particular, and not just the merchandise side, but the food and beverage side, we're looking forward to what we're going to bring to the table next year, as well as future years. With the merger as well, we have, as you've seen, two different styles of sort of merchandise between the Cedar properties and the Six Flags properties. So those two teams kind of coming together to really formulate a plan for our buys moving forward in the future. And anything that we receive too on a park level, commentary-wise, we escalate that up as suggestions of what we think that our guests want to see in the park. Why material is something that's important to things like this especially. So these are definitely things that we talk to our buyers about looking forward in the future.
I noticed you took the signs off the wall and the verticals. Is there some new stuff there?
So, yes, we took the signs down, and I knew that you were going to notice. You're probably the first one. I was waiting for you to talk to me about it first thing, but you didn't, so you failed that test. So we are evaluating shipwreck. It's something that, we spent a lot of time this year kind of looking into some things that we need to do to improve that particular ride. But we also have to determine whether it's it's going to be something that's viable for us. And so that's right now we're in the works. We met with Whitewater on that. Obviously, you guys know it's the Odie Hopkins original, so we have to figure out what's going to be the best for that particular ride moving forward. More to come there. I can't really delve into the full details on that, but we are, that sign was not inaccurate. We are evaluating that particular site for the future and what's going to be best for this property. So I should let Brett answer this, but I'll take it just because it's my problem. Right? So it's here, right? Currently it's here. I expect it to be it'll operate in 2025. Brett and his team have been working hard to try to get it going at least for the last weekend of Fright Fest, but I don't think that it's going to happen. I'll just be honest. But it's beautiful. I hope all of you have seen it. I think it's probably the best kiosk that not probably. It is the best kiosk that we put in this property. It's very, very well made. We're excited about it. We're excited about the future at that particular location. And then we've got the food court itself. So, it's been a 2-year process in getting that here. That's the only reason why I'm not letting Brett answer this question, because it all falls on me. And the reason why it's not quite going yet falls on me as well. So, but we're working through it. We'll get it open as quickly as we can for you all. There'll be some additional menu options that got from food court, and allows us, a whole lot more flexibility overall to service all of you. So we're excited about it.
Going on to the food things, who's from the supplier now? Because we've seen a pretty good chicken quality food.
So we haven't switched any suppliers right now. We're still using our main raw vendor, which is Cisco. We do have some other, smaller suppliers we'll go to for other options. It depends. But from some of the conversations that I've heard so far, what I will say is and you'll see some more doors open up in terms of our supplier partnerships.
So kind of going on with that, a lot of the Cedar Fair parks have a pretty strong beer program. You see them, think something you want to try to bring up here because it's already open?
The answer to that is 5,000% yes. Alcohol program is going to be something that we focus very heavily on in 2025 and improving that. Not just on the beer standpoint, but getting into as much as we can local craft and cocktails as well. Working with those products.
I think we have time for one last question. Back?
So we're going to hear an announcement for 2025. A lot of the other parks are announcing grab season pass sales. Don't know what's going on next year. So we're going to do that.
So you're asking about what we're doing for 2025? So obviously we're still in the process of evaluating 2025. We didn't necessarily have a plan that was already baked like some of the other parks. So I can't quite answer that, I think, the way that you want me to answer it right now. But we do have some things that we're working through. I can't tell you whether we have a particular ride, come in or anything like that. But I tell you all this, and I'll be very, very upfront about it. My number one goal right now at this property is to focus on plant integrity. We need to make sure that all of our buildings are up to par, and a lot of them we have challenges with. We're going to look at paint. We're going to look at focusing on building structures, wood, all those things. Repairs, maintenance is so key to any theme park, obviously. But for us, we have a lot of areas that we need to focus on. We did a full walkthrough last night, just kind of paying attention to some of the things that we need to look at and take care of. And that right now is my focus. You'll see that we made some repairs on the wood at Gotham Food Court. We repainted that. We repaired the bottom of the bathrooms. We added some fencing at the front. I know Sam talked to me about that. Just trying to open up the park so guests, when they walk up to the Evolve screen, that they can actually see the front of our park. You'll notice that there's a lot of little things that we're working on and that we're focusing on to try to show you guys that not only is this park a great park to be, but we want you guys to know that we care about it. And I care about it. I have a huge amount of pride for this property, not just because I'm in this role, but because I grew up here and I live here. I went here when I was a kid. My dad worked here, back in, but when it was Wild World. So I have a special appreciation for this place, not just because I work here. And so I want to make sure that it's the best that it possibly can be. And so that right now is my focus. Obviously getting a ride or getting something, improved or added to the portfolio is always a plus. But we want you all to have the best experience. I don't want anyone standing here and saying, this is not open. And so those things like that, we want to focus on as well. And so making sure that we have the best staffing model, making sure that our guests get the best experience. We have, a level of guest service that's being delivered to each and every single one of you, and you can write home about it. I want folks to say Six Flags America is the best place to come and visit, not just because of the rides, not just because of the people, but the grounds as well. And so that's what the focus is.
You mentioned from promoting season pass and everything. I think it is great to note that this property has received significant investment over the last 2 years with Steamtown, the renovations we've been able to do, the addition of Steam Whirler, and of course Pro Blaster in the water park. So it's a nice opportunity to take on the momentum of our new combined company and really take a hard look at our facilities, our ride up time, all of that stuff, and make investments that are maybe not as apparent, but will overall make a wide-ranging guest experience improvement.
And I neglected to mention bathrooms. That's a huge focus of ours too. I've not looked at this many toilets and urinals in my entire life. So, just to let you know. Anybody else have any other questions? I know we got to wrap up, so.
What are you most looking forward to in the next year then?
The biggest thing I'm looking forward to is a year of working as one combined company, but with all of the staff that we brought on this particular season. Brett started July 1st. I haven't had anybody in the role that I vacated and stepped into this role until July 1st. I was doing 2 jobs then. We got Marquise, he's out right now, but this was his first year as the ops and maintenance director. Obviously, there's a lot there. Josh, this is his first year as a maintenance manager. There's a lot there. There's a whole lot of new faces and new roles. You get to year 2, that's when you start to take off. And so that helps us from a part develop into what we need to be. But you add in the fact that we've merged with another strong company, 42 Park Strong. The sky's the limit, and that's what I'm the most looking forward to. I'm very, very optimistic of us having a phenomenal 2025 and beyond. I'll shut up. I'm sorry.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for stopping by.